Yo, what is up, everybody? It's that boy E, and I'm coming to you live with my first ever YouTube video. I am so excited to finally start this channel. I've really wanted to start a YouTube for a while now, and I thought since my favorite show ever, and Game of Thrones is having a prequel, that it will be a great time to start. I'll be doing weekly reactions to the new series House of the Dragons, along with Game of Thrones videos and other reactions. And before I start, firstly I wanted to say I have not read the books, so I am making this video based on the Game of Thrones show and predicting and debating if the new show, House of the Dragon, will be better than the OG Game of Thrones. So like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Let's hop into the video. So in this video, I'll be trying to predict and persuade if the prequel in House of the Dragons will be better than the OG Game of Thrones. Now, when you think of Game of Thrones, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Yes, you can't talk about Game of Thrones without bringing up how badly it ends. Even people that didn't watch the show will ask me how mad I was at the ending. And just like all of you, I was ready to fight D&D. With that being said, a lot of OG fans are a little bit skeptical at giving the new show a chance. Well, you shouldn't be. This show, unlike Game of Thrones, has an ending in the books. So no converting Dany to the Mad Queen overnight, no demolishing character arc after character arc after character arc, no killing the biggest true villain in the show, no making the biggest twist in TV series history, and Jon Snow finding out who he really mean nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. It ain't mean nothing. So none of that shit. The reason why Game of Thrones ended so badly is because there was no book to base it off of. Well, in the new show, House of the Dragon, we have a book to base it off. So I believe that the House of the Dragon will have a much better ending than Game of Thrones. Which, P.S., isn't really hard. Not to continue to bash Game of Thrones, but you can admit the writing in the last couple seasons was a bit bad. Look, they got a little sloppy and lazy, but with that being said, it was still the best written show of all time, for me, at least. It was by far the most put together show I have ever watched. So we can bash them for killing the last 2 seasons, maybe even the 5th season. But with a little help of my boy George, they made an amazing TV show with some of the best dialogue, twists, and characters in TV cinema history. Who can forget the Red Wedding? Or the Purple Wedding? Or even when Ned Stark died? These twists were beautifully painful. Besides the Purple Wedding, I love that shit. Now with that being said, the new writer Ryan is working hand by hand with the legend himself, George R.R. Martin. And on top of that, Miguel is producing 3 episodes this season. If you don't know who Miguel Bachnick is, he was credited with some of the all-time best episodes and by far my favorite, The Winds of Winter. He also worked on fan favorites Hardhome, Battle of the Bastards, and someone's favorite out there, but not mine, The Long Night. Since they will be working hand in hand with George just like D&D did with the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones and his glory days, I believe this show will be in great hands. I think some of the upgrades we saw in the trailer could have not a huge but small impact on how the world feels. The change of the Iron Thrones looks amazing, and the shot of King Viserys bleeding from just sitting on it felt realistic. Along with that, the Dragon Riders in the new show will have an actual harness, which was always a big question for me on how Dany and Jon did not fall out of the dragons. It made no sense. In the new show, House of the Dragons, they're going to start with basically the same budget as Season 8 of Game of Thrones had. So everything is going to look amazing. It's tough to say who has the edge on this because House of the Dragon isn't even out yet. But they have a lot of key elements going in their favor. Now let's talk about what made us fall in love with this awesome show that is Game of Thrones. Yes, you guessed it, the characters. Man oh man, whenever somebody asks me why I like Game of Thrones, I am so excited to talk about the characters and the developments. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it was very hard to watch any other show or movie after watching Thrones, because you just critique everything. Out of every other show I have ever watched, Game of Thrones has presented the most main characters I've ever seen, and I'm just saying main characters because the way they were written and produced, it made them seem like they were the main characters. From Samwell Tarly to Ygritte, to Tormund and Tywin, Queen Marjorie and Bronn and Oberyn, the list goes on and on and on. And these weren't even the quote-unquote main characters of the series, like people like Jon, Tyrion, Dany, Cersei, and Jaime. It's just so many great characters. It also had the best character arcs and development before the later seasons, of course. Not any show I've ever watched has such a full cycle development, and don't hate me for saying this, but if the writing was a bit better in the later seasons, Dany becoming Mad Queen would have been the best character in TV cinema history, in my opinion, of course. And most movies and TV shows tend to be a little bit black and white, meaning good or evil. If you ever walk in on someone watching a random show or movie, and being the annoying person I am, ask them what's going on. They usually tell you that this is the character that is good, and they're trying to mostly stop the evil one. Well, Game of Thrones, they make even one of the most cruel, evil characters feel sympathy for. And I'm talking about the one and only Cersei Lannister. I hated Cersei throughout the show, but could it help to feel kind of bad for her when she was being tortured? That's just what Game of Thrones does to you. They take even the most cruel, unloving characters and make their character arc and development colorful, meaning they have a reason behind what they're doing, and you sort of feel empathetic to these characters. And my all-time favorite character arc and development had to be Theon Greyjoy himself. His arc went from me hating him when he turned on Robb to feeling bad for him when he's being tortured by Ramsay, for hating him for snitching out on Sansa, to loving him again when he died protecting Bran against the Night Queen. That's what you get when you watch Game of Thrones. So many emotions. And I hope the new show, House of the Dragon, can follow up. Without giving up any spoilers away, I believe the characters have a real shot at not besting, but at least trying to match what we got from Game of Thrones. According to the books, their characters have a lot of depth, to say the least. And I believe the standout character could be Alicent Hightower. She's going to be a very colorful character. And all of us Game of Thrones fans, we love our colorful character. She's going to have hints of Cersei Lannister, hints of Margaery Tyrell, and along with her, we're going to have the typical Targaryen, according to George, and Daemon. Do you think House of the Dragon has a chance to be better or as good as Game of Thrones? Or do you think nothing can top Game of Thrones? Let me know in the comments. Me personally kind of thinks / wanted to believe that this show will be better than the OG. And I really hope so, because I am so excited for this show and cannot wait to watch. But thank you for watching the video. Peace out.